Good morning, Michigan gardeners. This is Doug at Buzzard Farm, just outside of Marshall on Verona Road. Um, Today's about 32 degrees. It's Friday, May 14th. We're hoping this is our last frosty morning. We've got a little frost out here at the farm this morning. But I chose this morning to check on the bees, give you guys an update if you're interested. Partly because it's been 2 weeks, and that's what when I took the class on beekeeping, they suggested after 2 weeks we check the hives and probably add another box to the top of the hives. Right now they've got the lower box, which has 10 frames in it. 5 frames were what they were working on when I put the packages in a couple of weeks ago, and by now they probably have worked through the other 5 frames, adding honeycomb. The queen has laid eggs. The drones and the worker bees are working to increase the hive size. So it's probably time to add a second box with 10 clean, brand new frames for them to work on and continue to grow the hive. I chose this morning partly because it's cold too. You've probably seen commercials with Jake from State Farm, and he's using a smoker when he's with the beekeeper. I don't feel like this time in the morning I need the smoker to kind of calm the bees. They're fairly calm, especially because it's cold also. But morning is a good time to check on the bees. They're not as active as they are during the day, obviously, or in the evening. So I'm going to open up the hives and remove the top screen, and then add the second box to one of the hives, and then I'll come back and recap on a couple other things too. So this is the top screen that I'm going to put back on top of the second box when I get it in place. And you can see how many bees and the honeycomb that they're making on the screen. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm going to add the box, and then I'm going to put this on top of the box. So at any rate, I'm going to do the same thing with the other box and see if that same amount of bees was on the screen. That surprised me a little bit, but there was a really large mound of bees up on top of the frames, in between that and the screen that you put on top of the box to block them from getting into the very top part of the box. So I'll add the other one, and hopefully that'll go as well as that one did. Other things that you might think about doing at this point, it's a good time to prune the forsythias. I did some of that the other day. I know in my first video I was talking about shrubs that you could prune. And so now's a good time for forsythias. Some of the lilacs are finished blooming. You can prune those. We lost a lot of the blooms this year because of the freezes we had in late April and early May. But now's a good time if you need to clean out some of the older, larger branches that have grown, or the trunks that have grown. You might even need a chainsaw to do that. And we planted our first planting of string beans yesterday. So we've got string beans in the ground. It's a little cool yet, but we plant into the black plastic, so that tends to warm the soil a little bit. And so you might want to wait another week or so before you plant your beans. It takes about 60 days to get your string beans going. Okay, that's the video for this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.